It is kind of funny how I saw the first Spider-Verse movie 4 years late after everyone else, and got to see the sequel 2 days before the American audiences. I should probably give a mild spoiler warning now in case you have not seen it yet, because like the premise of this movie, knowledge you don't want to have can only make you suffer in going forward. Those of you who have seen this movie get that reference, but also I need context to talk about, so there will be some mild spoilers. The movie takes place sometime after the first one, but for me it might as well have been a week-long separation because, again, I watched it 4 years late last year. Miles has had a growth spurt since the first movie, but the way how the movie starts, I would say that it is Spider-Gwen who is the real main character, similar to how Kaine becomes the main point of view character in Nier on New Game Plus. I'm going to record these two videos narrations back to back, by the way. To keep this video short and as spoiler-free as possible to be a Pika review, I'm going to say that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse does what you should expect from a good sequel by building on from the first one, and then also provides it with some rewatch value by saying, this random background character is the villain, go watch the first movie and see for yourself! And also go watch my review of that movie after this video. Its views are criminally low. The fan service is also done with some restraint when it came to cameos of all the different Spider-Man variants from the comics, previous cartoons and video games. But to say something that the trailers did not reveal, and what is going to make you go all is that this movie does pull a who-framed Roger Rabbit a few times, on both archive footage as well as by using new footage, with 2 live-action actors I'm not going to spoil. Going back to that thing I said earlier is that this movie has its premise dance around the canonical bullet points around Spider-Man's career timeline that most newer fans probably wouldn't know. Hell, I probably wouldn't have known about it if I had not done an Amazing Spider-Man comic book series marathon back in 2021 in lead up to No Way Home. But it's pretty much the unknown / lesser known tragedy in Spider-Man's career timeline that only the Amazing Spider-Man movie acknowledged back in 2012. AKA the death of Police Captain George Stacy, which happened between Uncle Ben's and Gwen Stacy's deaths. So no wonder how it might be a lesser known middle child tragedy. And that actually ties into the concept of spoilers, because if Spider-Man were to know about Uncle Ben's, Captain Stacy's and Gwen Stacy's deaths, he would naturally try to stop them from happening instead of letting them happen and learn from them in going forward. That is where the conflict and that set piece we saw in the trailers was about, by the way. Because Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099, has been trying to clean up the mess left from the first movie, and among those messes, that includes making sure that those previously mentioned tragedies happen to all the new versions of Spider-Man so that the canon doesn't break down. Hey, wait a minute. The Insomniac game Spider-Man never had a Gwen Stacy or Captain Stacy, so shouldn't his inclusion in this movie break that premise? Also, that game's version of Miles is cut out from this movie, and he was only in the trailers because of a similar plot-breaking factor that I'm not going to spoil. You will figure it out when you watch the film yourself. Anyway, Miles already had his Uncle Ben moment with his Uncle Aaron in the previous movie, and the next up will be his Captain Stacy moment, when his father is close to be promoted to become a police captain. So that is why he is chased by Spider-Man 2099 and all the other Spider-Men in the trailers, because they can't let him save his father from dying in line of duty. Otherwise the interdimensional paska will hit the interdimensional tuulettimen, and I'm saying that in Finnish so you won't get that reference before seeing the movie yourselves. What else? The animation takes a full advantage of all the multiversal variants of Spider-Man from different universes, and speaking of which, this movie cements that Miles Morales is the ultimate Marvel Universe version by designating his universe as Earth 1610, Earth 1610, Earth 1610, Earth 1610, Earth 1610, the fucking 1610. Finally, this shouldn't come across as a spoiler, because it was revealed months ago, but this movie takes a page from The Empire Strikes Back and... no wait, I'm not that old, let's do some more recent reference. The movie takes a page from Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy by making this installment work as Two Towers, or as Matrix Reloaded, meaning that it ends on a cliffhanger, but it was made quite obvious when the movie was originally called Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, and the sequel coming out next year was originally called Across the Spider-Verse Part 2, but now it has been renamed as Beyond the Spider-Verse. The movie ends on a cliffhanger that is basically telling the audience, see you next year. But I'm not going to tell you what kind of cliffhanger. You can learn and experience that yourself by going to see this movie. And now I'm going to record the narration for part 3 of my Nier video. Like this video, comment if you figured out the obscure references I used, share this video if you want to, and subscribe to my following videos on Nier Replicant and Sonic Adventure 2. Also, ding the bell for when I do gameplay streams so we can chat, and may your heart be your guiding key.